and I get a Shundo TYRUNT during Pokemon Go's Fossil Research Day. Fossil Research Day was this past August 2nd, and in typical event day fashion only lasts 3 hours exactly. From 2 to 5 p.m., I only had a limited amount of time to hunt for a Shundo TYRUNT. Speaking of Shundo TYRUNT, if you haven't seen the Golden Bottle Cap short, go and check that out here. This event has some fairly easy tasks that will pop up on your screen now with my rating on the task difficulty. Overall, I will say the event tasks are fairly easy to complete with a couple exceptions. The first task that annoyed me during the event was battle in a gym. I'm not sure how tasks are distributed, but every time that I got that task in my research tab, I was never around any gyms to even attempt it. The second task was earn 3 hearts with your buddy. While I was walking my Shadow Mewtwo and could have swapped, there is a limit of swaps per day, that limit being 20. Swapping for this task would not be worth it. The animation time it takes to quickly swap to another Pokemon and then earn the 3 hearts, which would be playing with them, taking a snapshot, and then feeding them, felt like it would be too much time consumed compared to the abundance of easier tasks during this event. The third research task that I skipped out on was use a super effective charged attack. This task requires you to enter a battle with either the trainer leaders, or gym, or a grunt, and then fight them until you hit their Pokemon with a charge move and then backing out. Again, my issue with this task is that this is simply too much time for all the animations compared to an easier task such as catch 5 Pokemon that could be done quickly with the quick catch method. The final task that I didn't skip out on but was eventually going to be difficult for me was send 3 gifts and add a sticker to each. Initially, I would be able to complete this because sending gifts with the quick send is fine. My main issue with this was running out of friends to send gifts to. With these things in mind, I had high hopes for finding a hundo and held out hope for a shundo until the last hour. Going into this event from previous research days, I knew the shiny odds would be boosted to about 1 in 10, which naturally fueled me to really grind out an event such as this one. My main drive in playing Pokemon Go are the raids. I love raiding. It's one of, if not the most fun thing to do in this game for me, so going hardcore for an event like this was such a huge change of pace for me. My YouTube partner Hints, who will also be posting on this channel, was my guide navigating the city while spinning stops for tasks and completing those research checks, making sure I was dumping the tasks that would not be an efficient use of my time. My hopes soared as it only took 5 minutes before encountering my first shiny TYRUNT and only 26 minutes before encountering the Hundo Amora, which at the time I was not aware of. And then a minute later, I had finally encountered my first shiny Amora. As we trekked through the city, stops were very abundant, so I had no doubt we could reach at least 100 tasks today. This event also marks the first time I encountered a shiny TYRUNT for myself. When I first returned to Pokemon Go back in 2023, I had just missed an event that released a shiny for TYRUNT. I had no idea a Pokemon like this even existed. For months, I went on without encountering a TYRUNT, let alone a shiny one. All of my shiny TYRUNTs prior to this event had been traded to me, so this event was my chance to finally collect my very own. This event also had time research with very simple demands. Complete 5, 10, and then 15 field research, which would naturally be done over the course of the 3 hours. There was also a paid ticket, which I did buy, that gave me 16 encounters with TYRUNT and 16 encounters with Amora, another great chance at a shundo for either of them. The spawns for this event were kind of irrelevant to me as only 2 of them really interested me, the Craniados and Shieldon. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to encounter the shiny for either of them, but that wasn't my focus, so I wasn't too bummed out about it. Another thing that I had noticed which irritated me during this event was that there was research from the Adventure Week event and non-event research tasks. In my opinion, if there was an event such as this one, where there are only 3 hours for it, make the research task only from the 3-hour event. Once that event is over, revert the Pokestops back to whatever previous task they had. That way we don't end up with tasks like catch 7 different species for a rare candy. We are already pressed for time and we end up collecting tasks that are simply irrelevant to the current objective. With all that being said, I hope you all have been enjoying the video so far. Let me know in the comments how was your experience with this event. I was reading on Reddit some folks were a bit upset at this event, and I completely understand where they're coming from. A good portion of Pokemon Go players live in or around rural areas, which means they get less Pokestops compared to someone that lives in LA or New York, for example. Given my privilege in being so close to a city, playing Pokemon Go isn't too difficult when it comes to finding groups to raid, hang out, or trade. I would love to hear some of your ideas on how to improve the research task availability for all players, as I think that Pokemon Go has done great for raids and has stepped in the right direction with the use of remote raids for shadow raids, as those were never an option before. I am, however, a bit on edge for using a remote raid pass for, say, a Dynamax battle or Gigantamax battle. Speaking of Dynamax battles, I sure hope Dynamax TYRUNT comes to the game within the next few years, and I would love to be able to hunt for a Hundo or hunt for a Shundo Dynamax TYRUNT, which means I would end up being able to obtain a Hundo or Shundo Dynamax Tyrantrum. That would look really cool. And with the release of Pokemon ZA, maybe Tyrantrum gets a Mega Form, and I would love to see what they come up with. Ultimately for me though, Pokemon Go is definitely my favorite Pokemon game, so anything that they come out with in the mainline games, I hope eventually comes to Pokemon Go, one of those being the silver bottle cap. And I think with everything that I've caught during this event, I do have one shiny TYRUNT that was pretty close to being a Hundo. It was a 96. It was off by 2 points. And, you know, if they introduce the silver bottle cap, that's an easy 2 points that will make it a Shundo. Hope you guys have enjoyed the event as much as I have. Even though I didn't obtain the Shundo, I still got super close to it. It was still fun hunting the research task and bumping into some of the Pokemon Go community members. If you liked the video, please make sure to leave a like on it, as that helps us out, and subscribe for more Pokemon related content. See you in the next one. Peace.